How's it going? We are live, and it's only a hair past a freckle. Close-up cam. Today, close-up cam is not broadcasting. Hello, Team Cave Dweller. I love you being here. And I love you being here, buddy. Hey, it's 2 people already? That's unprecedented. You are Blue Ceramics. Hey, Blue Ceramics. Love it. Thanks for being here. I sometimes engage in ceramics, and I love putting things together and making things. I once built a life-size, well, it was 9 feet tall until I fired it, and then it became 7 feet tall. It was pretty cool. And then I took it outside, and I put it in front of the Bronze Fonz in Milwaukee, and it got news coverage. So here we are, Team Cave Dweller. We have the left wing cam, hello revision gallery, and the right wing cam, which is a little bit more receded, which is to say, it's my cam. Team Cave Dweller, I'm going to say one. I made notes for today. Let me get them. I am he and you are me and we are she and we all come together like Lucy in the sky, a pie in the eye, see how they fly. You know what I want to do? I want to be a rock star. But unfortunately, I only have the vibe, I've been told, and not the ability. I don't have the talent. I have no talent for that kind of thing. But what we have here is some notes. Oh, let's start. Stand by. We are here. When we get to here, I'll go through some notes. When we get to here, we'll have a commercial. When we get to here, there'll be more notes. And then when I get to here, back to here, we'll be done. So, Team Cave Dweller. That's our timing clock. These are my notes. Every time I find a card laying around, I pick it up because you never know, it might be cartographic. That is, it might have something to say to me about my life in a mystical sense. So here's a card that I found in the window well at Our Lady of Guadalupe basement of the school. Basement of the school. Grease me up, woman. Grease me up, woman. The 8 of Hearts. I didn't know what to make of it. I guess that's my prayer to Our Lady of Guadalupe. Speaking of which, my favorite saint is with us today. Virgin of San Juan of the Lake. Lady of the Lake. Mexico's second greatest saint. Be with us, Our Lady of the Lake, and may these gifts may we be truly thankful. Today I am painting this painting. A buddy of mine asked, what is... Not this again. A buddy of mine asked, where do I stand? I don't even know. A pal of mine asked where I get inspiration. And the answer to that is there is no such thing as inspiration. There's only... That's a lie. I live by inspiration. I only inspire. That is, I receive inspire. I don't inspire. It just spires all by itself. Where do I get it? It just appears. It just comes to me. Inspiration just arrives on my doorstep. I don't understand it, but when I start working, it usually just keeps the ball rolling. Well, today, I was getting my oil changed, and I stopped at Goodwill, and I happened to look in the record bin. Oh, you know what I found at Goodwill? I found a hardcover with a Brodart Dust Jacket edition of Hirakami's book, 1Q84. One of my favorite novels. And there it was, just lying there, ready to be purchased for $1. It's better than half-price books, which shouldn't exist because they're not paying me for the commercial. Neither is Goodwill, but they gave me such a deal, I feel like I gotta reciprocate somehow. And I bought this book, and now it's holding my door open. While I was there, I looked at the albums, and I found these records. The Lone Ranger, Authentic Story and Songs of the Old West. And then this one. Full and Spiegel's Merry Pranks. What I love about this is the graphic design. The graphic design element is the most wonderful part. So I thought, I want to paint Toshiba El Toro. Toshiba El Toro is this horse. He's a character I've created. He's perspectively unglued because he's the son of the horse in Guernica. So he's cute. He's always cute. And I wanted to paint him and do this kind of non-background where there's like a weird shadow on all sides and no background, put a little grid on the bottom for no apparent reason. Resembles a tile floor. So we're going to do that today. I already started. Because Toshiba El Toro is the son of a Picasso horse, I looked up Picasso horse and I combined these two horses, this horse with the Picasso horse, and this is Toshiba El Toro's partner, Hojimato Kamanda. He's a samurai. Together, they are Criminal Investigations, not Divorce Investigations, LLC. That's the actual name of their LLC. And they're private investigators. And they're not interested in your love life. They want to fight crime. They're out for danger and honor. Toshiba El Toro, a white horse on a white canvas. I'm going to start this canvas by painting in the background because I'm going to do the most first. And I'm going to use my new favorite color, quinacridone red light. Quinacridone red light. It's my new favorite color. All these characters of mine, they exist in a world called Milwaukee 2. How do I stand and paint? Oh, I can just do this now? Yes? Yes? Okay, we'll do it. It's beating up on the surface. Because that's the kind of thing that acrylic paint does. Sometimes it's fun to play with that effect. Let it dry as it beats up. Does interesting things. But in order for it to be really interesting, you need a surface that both absorbs and repels. It can't be too absorbent, nor can it be too repellent. Because if it's too repellent, it beads up too aggressively. And if it beads up too aggressively, you just get round dots of color. And what you want is fields of color as the paint dries. Because they're thinner on the outer edge. Same kind of thing you would do in watercolor. Alright, see it's beating up there really nice. I should use a bigger brush because this has taken a million years. And you don't have a million years. You are in lockdown. There's never a million years available when you're in lockdown. I called my pally-wallies up in, I didn't call them, I used Facebook Messenger, in New Orleans at the New Orleans Art Center, and I told them to be safe. That's it. That's all I said. Keep strong, I told them. You know, cliches to make you feel better. I love the way this is beating up. This is going to look great when I hit it with another color. I am in love, and love is in with me. Nice coral pink. Lifelike. It is the color of life. It is life like the color of life. My favorite aspect, my favorite era of cubism is synthetic cubism, because it's where they got away from the dogma of the scientific experiment, right? Where they wanted to show all sides of something simultaneously to more mimic actual experience, which is only interesting a couple times. It swiftly becomes wall art or sofa art or hospital art, especially today when you can just do anything you want. back then maybe it was, I don't know, cool because it was had the aspect of deviance. But when Braque and Picasso moved into synthetic cubism, their imaginations took off and everything became wonderful. This particular horse is based on a copy of a I don't know what painting I found it as a close-up. No, I didn't find a close-up. I found a painting, but I didn't read to see the title. But it's not Guernica. It's something else. It's the one where he's being eaten by a bull. It's pretty cool. Horse getting eaten by a bull. Wow. The head of the bull was great. It was really tiny. I love it. Picasso just did whatever he wanted. He just expressed. Let the paint do it. Let the paint dictate to him what the image was. It's not like the paint is telling him. It's his imagination working itself out. YouTube just recommended to me a video, Jordan Peterson, how to sell anything. I need that help. So we'll see what Doc Pete has to say. Did you know his middle name, B, the initial B, it stands for bear, but only in like Norwegian or something, like Norwegian for bear. Okie doke. How's your lockdown experience so far? In Milwaukee, we are locked down tight. Things are closed. I walked into Star F today and all the tables and chairs were gone. It was like they were moving out. But at least they were open. Really doesn't make any sense to encourage people to go out to eat or to use Uber Eats and have deliveries when the guy delivering or the people who make the food themselves could have a disease. But you gotta eat. So what are you gonna do? Just lock it down. Now then, now that this is all set, we can look at, well, I'm using my camera here for a thing, and there's an image I need. Because the background is going to be the interior of the Milwaukee Public Library, but let's just put down that grid and then start painting in the samurai. See where that takes us. Light portrait pink hue. Let's use it. Water. Mixing it with my favorite red, quinacridone red light. Let's see what we got here. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of what I wanted. The samurai is a man of style. Got a salmon jacket on. Must be summer. So if it's summer and he's got a salmon jacket on, that means he's wearing khaki trousers. Or is he wearing white trousers? What color? Seersucker? Is it khaki? What color do clothing snobs wear when they're wearing a salmon-colored jacket? It's a club jacket. It's got a monogram on it. Wonder what club he's in. This is how inspiration hits. It just occurred to me that that colored jacket is the kind of colored jacket that would have a club patch on it, some kind of society. And once I've decided that, then I have to put it on, and then I have to decide what club is it. I wonder. I was reading a story that I wrote this morning. I was reading it this morning, rereading it. I wrote it in grad school several years ago, and there's so many crazy things in it that I made up that are just wonderful. I couldn't believe it, but it's almost disorienting, I think, to the reader. That doesn't bother me. That's why I'm in it. To disorient and reframe, revision reality. That's what it's all about. For instance, I just casually used the word McGuts, which in the world of Milwaukee 2 is their word for McDonald's. Famous franchise of hamburger sellage. Oh, man. Supply chain. How's your supply chain treating you? Is everything still good? I hope so. Let me know if it isn't. So far we have no comments. Let's write a comment. Welcome to the Live with the Skrauss. The Joe Rogan of half-assed boredom. That's me, baby. There's nothing more boring than art. I knew a nun once who called it, she kept going on and on. This terrible refrain is, art comes from the H-E-A-R-T. I kept repeating that. It's so corny. But it's true. In all its cornball antics, that saying is true. Art is a mirror of the soul of the artist, and if it resonates with you, then there's an image you're projecting onto it, speaking in Jungian terms, that is also co-resonant. Co-resonance is what we're creating here. Hello, Kirsten. What? Gone. I don't even know why I bother. These people, they come on and then they're gone in 2 seconds. Why do they even come? They should just stay away. They should just stay away. Vision Gallery, I'm talking to you. We've got this. We've got the background in. He's got this colored jacket, which normally I wouldn't do. Make a jacket so close in color to the background. But we're doing it. I can do whatever I want. I'll give him khaki pants. Maybe that's why I gravitated towards art. Because in the prison system for children that we call public school, it was the only time I could do what I wanted. Recess, there was nothing for me to do that I cared about. I was so bad at sports and uncoordinated and never got better. Although, I read in a report card of mine from 5th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade, one of those grades, they were like, you know, the Skrauss, he's getting better playing kickball, but so is everyone else. That's me. It's the story of my life. Always running late. Always running behind. And when you do that, because we're comparing constantly ourselves to each other, it creates a sense of stagnancy. But it's only a sense of stagnancy. The stagnancy isn't actually real. It feels real, but I guess it ain't real. See, the color of khaki pants mixed with this whatever color of brown I had on here. I mix up my browns when I don't read the label. Here we go. It is dark outside. It's so dark I can see this candle. Boing. Alright, so we got that. I'm going to just lift. Picasso did this great thing on this particular horse where he has it outlined, like it's in a force field of some kind. Like there's the line, and then there's a color, and then there's a line around the color. It's like it's double outlined. I'm going to fill that in with a wonderful institutional green. My favorite green is named institutional green. My second favorite green is a green that's so bright it's almost yellow. Let's use cadmium light pure to see if we come up with a synthesis between those. Like here, for instance. This green looks yellow. It's so close to yellow, it looks yellow. This is more the institutional I'm going for, but we'll get a mix. That's just a postcard I picked up off the ground. I don't know whose it is. And for the blue, I should use Goddess Blue because it's subdued. Use my spatula. I was not going to be here. I was planning on not being here on Saturday, but it turns out I will be here at Revision Gallery. Come and visit me. Come and visit me as we live paint. We can live paint. We can chat about something. I can teach you something that maybe you want to know about art, about imagination, about creativity. Come and join me on Saturday. I'll be here. I'll be live streaming at 2. You can join me for that. You can join me before that. You can join me after that. You can have some snacks, which we have, and we have lots of bottles. That's all I'm going to say. There's lots of bottles. Well, anyway, I was not going to not be here, but now I am going to be here. But I was going to not be here because I was going to a prayer lodge with a Cree medicine man whom I interviewed for my radio show when I had it, Image for Hire. He's this great guy. He's running this sweat lodge. And I was going to go, and I can't go because I started a gig painting somebody's house, and they're very leery during this crackdown about health maintenance. They're not leery about health maintenance. They're leery about the lack of it. And they're like, whoa, sweat lodge? Dude. That makes us uncomfortable. So I got to finish the job. So I'm losing out. My soul is losing out. Who knows what would have been offered up by the spirits to my soul? I don't know. I know not. And I was disappointed. And I sent a text to the shaman, to the medicine man, and he's like, hey, all in God's time, dude. I'm just kidding. He's not like that. But he did say all in God's time, which reassured me. Because I thought this was God's time. Well, it turns out it's not, I guess. This lockdown has really disrupted a lot of things. I thought I was going to be teaching a class on Saturdays as well, but that hasn't worked out. All right, let's put this on. Some institutional green. Oh, this is great, especially with that red background that I stole from this. I can't tell where I am in the big screen. I don't have to do much to this painting. Toshiba El Toro is white. Those are his ears. I think this is my best effort at making institutional green. Most successful. All it takes is a little bit of Goddess Blue and the gumption. Just takes the gumption. Created Toshiba El Toro when I was in undergrad, around 2000, with his partner in Samurai, Hojimato Kamanda, which is actually just a Japanese sounding version of Kamandi. Last boy on earth. I did a literal translation of Come On, You Last Boy on Earth, and it was final boy on top of the planet. So this is, and so I turned him into a character. Hojimato Kamandai. Final boy on top of the planet. Of course, he's not a boy. He's a live big man. Samurai, no less. Everything in Milwaukee 2 is pretty much, it's almost exclusively genre. My version of genre material. And I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's just something everybody's already seen before, and there's nothing exciting. But it's kind of what I'm stuck with, because it's what excites me. I wrote a story called The Origin of the Peg-Leg Monkey. And in it, it was told the story about how he became the peg-leg monkey. I imagine that when the Milwaukee 2 epic cycle is complete, there will be several origins of how the peg-leg monkey got his leg. And there will be no one that is more true than the others. So I wrote the story and I sent it off to McSweeney's, and McSweeney's sent it back and said, "No thanks, Jose." And I'm like, "Well, what's up?" And they're like, "Well, I like the part where, he's kind of talking and, to the worker at the Milwaukee Journal, presses, the foreman. But after that, it loses steam. And after that is where the peg leg, I'm like, come on, that's how he became peg leg monkey. He falls, tips back and falls. And his response was, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like maybe I'm a little too predictable. That still hurts me. McSweeney. That's all right. I don't read McSweeney's anymore. Even though that was the first place I ever read a Murakami story. Dab Chick in McSweeney's Quarterly Concern number 4. Bought it in New York the year before the towers blew up. Almost exactly a year. There's a nice little box full of pamphlets. I loved it. And this woman who wrote this story, Dab Chick, I just thought she was a genius of some kind. And so if I connect, I thought Murakami was a woman. If I connect Dab Chick to the origin of the peg-leg monkey, in Dab Chick there's like no action. It's all this existential weirdness. I don't know how to get in that frame of mind. Alright, so now I want, in the background, I want this darker to bring it out. I'm going to put yellow ochre on the floor. This underdrawing is drawn with acrylic ink. That submission to McSweeney's was probably my final submission ever of a short story to anything that was in 02. I just couldn't get it off the ground. I didn't know what the deal was. I only tried like 3 or 4 places and they all rejected me, and then I just kind of gave up. The moral of this story is you should never give up. Why would you give up? I don't know. I was disappointed, and then I just thought I couldn't write, and then I turned to other things, like trying to get money and not knowing what to do and panic and crying. I did a lot of crying. Never got me anywhere. Alright, see here? So we got these white spots, and then I just go over it with a layer. What? Okay, well, we have no more close-up cam, I guess. Let's see if I can do it again. close-up cam is showing you the details in the edit of where I can't seem to get this together. I need some better equipment and some other things. Everything just seems to fall apart on me. But this I'm not giving up on, unlike my writing career, which kind of went nowhere, even though in 5th grade I decided I was going to be a writer. 5th grade, I was like, I love writing these stories. That's what I want to do all the time. And I gave it a shot. And I took classes in art school to learn how to write. And they didn't help me. They basically spent all the time telling me that I can't write. In critiques. We had critiques and stuff in fiction writing classes. You can't write. This goes too fast. I don't understand who's talking. And I didn't understand what they were talking about. Don't you want it to go fast? The McSweeney's comment actually helped. Alright, so we got that, and it's beating up nicely. Kind of have to let it dry though, because I'm using all this water. It's not drying in seconds. If you use acrylic straight out of the tube, it dries in seconds. Like the stuff I have in my palette probably already has a skin over it. Dab up some of this water mess. I wonder if there's a video limit on here and it just shuts down automatically. You know? Anybody? So I had two viewers on. Well, it's that time. It's that time, Cave Dweller, where we have a commercial. This episode of Image for Hire, Painting Live with the Skrauss, is brought to you by Well Water. Milwaukee's only surviving well, dug up, drilled down into in the late 1800s in the Bayview neighborhood of Milwaukee. Pierce Street Iron Well is what it's called. It's named for its smell. This one just smells like guts. This is a 1-gallon jar of imported olives that I found somewhere and washed out. I actually may have even purchased the olives just so I can get the jar. I actually think I did that at local warehouse grocer. Tastes like the grounds of hell. Like the coffee grounds of hell. Speaking of which, have coffee will travel. That's pretty good. I like to sip on coffee. It's a habit I developed when I had my first studio in '02 in the convent where the nun was. Oh, all these stories are coming together. It's like synchronicity compounding. Bringing that up, this is, I'm going to show Revision Gallery. In the band of my hat is a pencil clip around a plastic vial. As you can see, the vial is filled with anti-mind control dust. This anti-mind control dust was given to me by the Cree medicine man that I was going to the sweat lodge with this weekend. I don't know if I'm mind controlled or not, because let me tell you, am I mind controlled? I just traveled to Kenosha during the lockdown. I believe that the virus is a sham, and I love Donald Trump. I feel like that makes me kind of mind-controlled, maybe in your mind. Because I know if you're watching this because you love art, that means you're a liberal. If you're watching this because you hate art, that means you're probably just a guy. Halfway point. So, here we are at the halfway point. Senora Delago is helping us out. The close-up cam is useless. Let's get it out of the way. Keeps pooping out on me. I think I have too much data on my phone. It's dripping nicely. It's moving around. It's beating up. Bring Revision Gallery in a little bit closer to see the beat up. See that wonderful texture? That's what I love. So when I start to cover up the wonderful texture with awesome sauce, which I have a lot of. Let me tell you about awesome sauce. Awesome sauce is a theory, is an idea created by Jack Black. It's not even an idea. It's just this thing he said once, and a buddy of mine turned it into a theory and an idea. And the theory and idea is that you only have so much awesome sauce, talking about rock and roll stars. Because, you know, you have your big hits and then you just sort of peter out. But it's not true. Awesome sauce is forever. You never stop awesome saucing it up. But what happens is your audience gets bored. They're like, oh, this again. Oh, U2 had another album. Oh, the Stones had another. Well, maybe the Stones ran out of awesome sauce. But INXS never ran out of awesome sauce. They kept rocking and getting better and better all the time with their rock funk. You never run out of awesome sauce. And so, therefore, I have tons of awesome sauce. The awesome sauce is coming together in this painting. I should put some scared people below here, I think. Oh, yeah. Why didn't I think of that? This painting is begging for scared people at the bottom. And what are these? Black cacti? Coffee beans? What is that? Maybe you can help me with the close-up cam. What are we looking at there? It seems like some kind of, I don't know, from far away it looks like a plant. Close up it looks like a shant. Yeah, I said shant. Nobody says shan't anymore. They say won't or can't. Nobody says shall not. Where am I? Scaredies. What colors we have? We have different primary colors over there. I think maybe that's too much, so I'm going to make them violet. Ooh, yes, violet, just like yesterday, day before. Mix some white in there. Oh, quinacridone too. I'll mix some quinacridone magenta in there too. So we got dioxazine, quinacridone magenta, and I'm going to use white. So this will be kind of a purple, a hot pinkish purple, mixed with white, which will make it creamy. Where? All the time that I spend looking for paint is edited out of the edit. And all the stupid things that I say is edited out of the edit. It actually usually ends up in the edit being a 2-minute long piece where you see a painting miraculously come together. Sometimes I peter out in the live show. You know, run out of things to say. It's hard when there's no conversation. I mean, there's no comments here, right? Nobody gives me any comments because there's one person here I see, but no comments. I don't know what to do to improve my shtick. You give me some ideas to improve my shtick, some other things you might want to know or see or have done, and I'll let you know. Oh, here's some other records I bought today. So speaking of inspiration, where does inspiration come? I'm inspired by graphic design from the 50s and 60s. This is a record album of Peer Gynt, which happens to have one of my favorite classical pieces. I don't even like classical music. I think it's boring, but some of it, like Peer Gynt, is not boring. It's very exciting. Well, In the Hall of the Mountain King is very exciting. I don't know about the rest of the opera. Then we have these. Okay, we're back. Thank you. And then we have these covers to albums that are actual paintings. If we look closely on here, we can see the brush strokes. Today, this brush strokey look would be done with a damn Photoshop filter, but because nobody has this kind of skill anymore. That's very inspirational to me. And notice that the bed is the same color as her dress. And the curtain is the same color as his tunic here. And you can see it coming through the armor as well. These were painted very fast. There's probably a whole underpainting. You can see it under here. It's mixed in optically. This whole underpainting of red, and they build it in layers. It's brilliant. I wish I had that kind of skill. It requires planning, something I know nothing about. This is another one I picked up just because I love the graphic design. You can't beat concentric circles. Not with a stick, not with a flounder, not with nothing. Concentric circles make the world go around. Let's put some in. I'm going to use gray. Oh wait, first I have to finish up this purple, the purple people. Slapdash purple people paintings. Put them in, Daddy-O. I am doing it. I am making it happen. And I want to thank you, viewer. Without you, my precious cave dweller, these paintings wouldn't exist because I would not be painting. So even though there's nobody here now, and it's possible there may be nobody in the future watching the edit. Well, there's one person here now, or was. I don't know anything about them, though. They haven't commented. The fiction of viewership and presentation enables me to paint. It gives me a reason to paint. So I want to thank you for being here for that. So on the edge here, in the scared people, what do scared people look like? I guess they look like this, diving for cover. So arms going up, legs, heads. Arms going up, legs, heads. These are very abstract people, which is fine. Arms going up, head. It's fine that they're abstract people. I can put the details in later, or no details. Either way is fine by me. You tell me, what do you want to see? Or you can tell me what I should have done in the edit. Senor Del Lago, please help me. I have no idea what I'm doing. Bless my viewers. Give them a kiss. Okay. So I have a placement of these purple people, mostly what they're going to be and where they are. Wow, I wonder what's going on. So great. Hojamacho Kamande. When I was in high school, I made up a character called the Switchblade Samurai. He was part of the Skrauss Justice League. I had a Justice League. I had this comic I was working on. It was The Secret Wars. It was a parody of Marvel's Secret Wars. And they had Groucho Marx doing the narration. And he eventually ended up in the story in a TARDIS, which was a grandfather clock. And I used my buddies Mike Ohm's characters as well, because it was the big crossover event. Let me see. I had the Switchblade Samurai. I had Photon Man and the Proton Particle. I had an Indiana Jones type character, Frederick the Adventurer, and I had the Carbon Epoxy Turtle, and the Man of Carbon Epoxy, because there was a funny animal world as well. Man of Carbon Epoxy, and then Yellow Belly, the pirate. Yellow Belly the pirate. He was great because he could just make his sword appear in his hand anytime he wanted. Kind of like Rom. Maybe I'll bring those stories back someday. Oh yeah, glory. My glory days. Those are my glory days of high school. We got some things here. We got this. Put in the saddle a little more. It should be a dark red burnt sienna because it's the color of leather and prairie dust, even though it all takes place in Milwaukee where everything is gray. Our sky is gray, our streets are gray, our souls are gray. And the reason our souls are gray is because we don't have much, and the reason our souls are gray is because we don't have enough HEART. Thank you very much. let me see, saddle. I worked a lot with puns when I was creating these characters in the world of Milwaukee 2 in art school. And there was a group of stories that took place on the moon. It was the cowboys versus the samurai on the moon. And then, of course, on Earth, there was, in concentric rings around Milwaukee, there's the suburbs, the deep suburbs, no, the exurbs, the suburbs, the deep suburbs, and the land of the cowboys. So anywhere there's a cowboy, well, except when they're wearing spacesuits, they wear saddle shoes. That one seems to make sense to me. What color is Hojimato Commandee's tie? He's a stiff. He's a total stiff, which is, I'm surprised he's wearing a salmon jacket. He must be in disguise. Yeah, he's in disguise all right. He's too stiff. I pattern him after Jeeves, but only like a hardcore Jeeves. Or I should say hard-boiled. Way too stiff to ever crack a smile. And yet he's stuck with this partner that keeps shifting in space and flatness and perspective. Does crazy, wacky things like flirts with waitresses in diners and then steals the tip that he just put down. I think the stories never took off because he's such a stiff. He doesn't have much of a personality. He was always scolding and reprimanding the horse. Now that I know that, I mean, I never realized he was a stiff until just now I said it. Now that I say it, I have a better idea of who he is. I think I can go back into those stories and finish them. Wouldn't that be wonderful? It would. Another finished story by me. So far I have one. But I have like 20 in the works. If I could crank those puppies out, I'm working on a book. By the end of this week, by Monday, I will have a book at the printers. That book will be a brief introduction to Milwaukee 2. It is free to all my Patreon patrons because they've waited so long for any kind of a prize from me. Typically, it would be only free to those pledging $10 or more. Frankly, all my Patreon patrons pledge $10 or more. I don't think I have one that pledges less than that because they give up. They're like, he's not giving us any prizes or content. And yeah, I admit, there's a long time there where I had no content because I just feel like I'm alone in the world, like literally by myself. Like there's nobody else in existence. For a time, I toyed with the idea in high school that everybody else was just an actor. And maybe everybody goes through this. I've heard that other people have thought this. But now it's even worse. Now I feel like everybody's just a projection on a screen and I'm participating in a movie I don't have a script to and nobody can participate with me because they're just NPCs. I'm so isolated. So, I just gave up on life. Fortunately, Marjorie Meyer at Revision Gallery gave me a shot in the arm and it brought me back to life. Which brings us to this point in the story. We are right here now. Cave Dweller, we are here. And we are about to go through the notes I have. I have notes of things I want to talk about. These are very important ideas. Things that are coming up. I am publishing a book, an introduction to Milwaukee 2, where all these stories take place, where Hojimato Commande and Toshiba El Toro run riot around Mr. Armstrong, who owns the Milwaukee 2 horsey racing track. They're his security force, or team, or workers. We're working on that. That's going to be done by the end of the week, I promise, because I have a deadline. And then I'll make it available to you if you're interested. You can buy it from me at a few dollars more than cost, or you can show up in person, here at the gallery, and we can talk and give it away. If you are a gallery owner, you get one for free in hardcover. Here's some things I think about current events. I've said before earlier that I don't believe the virus is an issue, and I wonder what happened to the crackdown for meningitis, spinal meningitis, when people were dying from that in colleges. Whatever happened? There was no isolation. They didn't close the gym. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. All those other viruses that are a big panic, nothing changed. Why this one? I don't know. It makes me suspicious. All these kids at spring break in Fort Lauderdale, partying it up, going wild, starring in porn videos with girls gone wild. When they come back, I predict some of them will have the disease. They'll report having the disease. And if that happens, it will be because A, they've contracted it, 2, they've been inoculated against their knowledge, or 3, they're actors. It's a hoax. One of those 3 possibilities are true. That's my prediction. I don't know which one. I suspect that the whole thing is some kind of ruse to distract us or to take away our civil liberties, get us used to that. I'm not sure, because we're in a state of lockdown, right? What does it mean to be in a state of lockdown? Why would the government want us in one? I can't, with my conscience and my ignorance, believe that this is all as it appears. There's a crisis, and we're taking care of the crisis. If that's true, well, thank God. Then we're doing everything right, everything's working out. But it just seems fishy to me. And I don't know if that's because I'm mind-controlled into believing harebrained schemes, i.e. conspiracy theories. Or I don't know. Like, did I like screw my mind up by having an interest in the occult and studying it and trying to work out rituals? You tell me. Am I a nut job? I don't know. I don't think so. But maybe. Maybe I need the feedback of human company, but I haven't had it in years, so maybe I'm just going crazy slowly. Who can tell? I'll put on the anti-mind control hat and we'll see what happens. I don't feel better. State of lockdown. That's all I got. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about, and that is... Oh, I'm almost done with this book. I'm almost done with my book. This is my daily task book. I put down the hours of the day and the things I have to do in those hours, and then I don't do them. And eventually it becomes a sketchbook where I do drawings. This is my comic strip that I was trying to actuate and manifest a better reality. It's called exponential growth. The thing they don't tell you about exponential growth is that most of the time you spend growing is spent at the bottom of the barrel. It's like the last year where you skyrocket into infinity. Maybe I should have named it something else. Now, I'm working on t-shirts. If you show up in person, we have 3 t-shirts. It's the Peg Leg Monkey meeting Crazy Cat on the moon. It's a wonderful drawing that I did that I'm told is friendly by various people. Something that sticks in my craw, that I'm innocuous and friendly. I don't want to be friendly, I want to be dangerous, but God rest my soul, I don't have the dangerous vibe. We're going to perfect that t-shirt and have them for sale, and Patreon members with $10 or more pledges get it for free. This is where you can reach me at Patreon. Patreon.com/theskrauss. My website is imageforhire.com, and you are watching in Revision Gallery, but I have my own Instagram, _Skrauss. Same for Twitter. Okay, let's get back to work. We got a lot of work to do and not a lot of time left. We only got about 5. So we got the people running away. I have to put in a whole library here, but I'm not sure what that is going to look like, so let's see if I can sketch it out with this burnt sienna, transparent burnt sienna. I love this brand of liquid acrylic ink. I just love it. There. Oh, my brush is somewhere else, my liner brush. Well, we're just going to have to wing it with this one. The colors are fluid, often transparent. And they're just wonderful. They work so well. And if they paid me the right price, I would mention their name for you. Maybe you can tell by the shape of the bottle. It looks like this. Senor the leg, help me. All right, goes up, up, up. Balcony. I mean, not balcony, but there'll be a balcony in here. Probably this. And there. Goes around. Why is Toshiba El Toro rearing up in the public library, causing such a stir? I can't wait to find out. Oh yeah, baby. I love my characters. I just love the characters so much. That's why I love writing. And I almost exclusively write dialogue. And when I have to write the plot part of the story, then I peter out. I need a coach or something. I need somebody to crack the whip so I can get these done so that you can read them, Cave Dweller. That's that. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Let's give Hojimato Kamandai-san some skin. Kamandai-san. I'm going to use the first. I deliberately am not going to use yellow ochre. All right, you woke viewers. I am deliberately turning away from yellow ochre, even though it's kind of the lightness that I want. Instead, I'm going to use raw sienna. It used to be that you could just draw a person of a skin color other than your own without worrying about it. Now it's a big hassle. You gotta worry. Not only about offending people, but about the woke freaks, making a pariah out of you and burning you at the stake like Joan of Arc. Jesus, I'm sorry that I don't cross-dress. I mean, come on, give me a break. I can't afford dressing like a woman. It's disposable clothing at 5 times the price. All right, skin tone for Hojimato Kamandai. Have you noticed I've been touching my face? I just can't stop. Can anybody? It itches. Yeah, this is his thumb, fingies. Fortunately, it's not very transparent. It has to be just transparent enough so that I can tell what's underneath there, so that when I go in a second time, how are we doing? So it looks like we still got plenty of time. The Instagram, Revision Gallery Instagram is the countdown clock for me. When it gives me the 5-minute warning, that's when I start to wrap things up. And I like to actually wrap things up and give us an ending, some kind of closure, but I often miss the opportunity and just let it expire. I did not know that Hojimato Kamandai wore glasses, but I looked up Japanese businessman when I was doing this drawing, and I found a face that I really loved, and he wore glasses, so I used it. So now I guess Hojimato Kamandai wears glasses. I mean, I would never expected that. Maybe they're goggles. Maybe they're more goggles than glasses. I used up so much. I wasted so much paint today. This is like globs sitting there. That is too much. I've got to subdue that. Hit it with some raw umber. Okay, we got the 27-second warning. Saying goodbye to Revision Gallery. Goodbye, Revision Gallery. You know I'm here for you. I'm always here for you. I hope that... Why is that building with the sign in the background? It should not be a building with a sign. It should be my other cam. Revision Gallery, we're here for you. Come visit us live. get cookies. I want you to be a witness to this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit this button, and that theoretically will save it to this phone. And when it's saved, then I add it to this computer where you are viewing from, and I import it into Adobe Premiere, and it then edit it. If it works. Oh, no, don't go away. See, it's not doing what I want now. Well, we'll see. Cave Dweller, thank you for being here. It's been a wonderful afternoon, and I dragged my heels and I was late because I didn't want to do it, but I'm so glad that I did. We got so much done, and we got to visit my favorite mannequin, my favorite specimen of humanity, which is actually based on me. They based this on me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping us out, Our Lady of the Lake.